Wow, 195,000 Dark Elixir. That's going to take forever. Hey guys, Joe here, and today I'm going to share my personal strategy for quickly farming Dark Elixir with low-level heroes. So this episode originated from one of my longtime friends, Big D. He's over in Elite Academy, also in Elite Nation. He came over to the house this weekend. He was asking me how to farm DE quickly to upgrade his heroes. He's got level 20-some heroes and also being able to still war. So he also proceeds to show me this raid because I asked him, like, well, what are you doing right now to get Dark Elixir? And let's go ahead and stop and look at this raid real quick. You got 2 golems, 12 Valkyries, and 3 earthquake spells that he personally cooked eternally, not including his clan castle troops. That's 4,260 Dark Elixir that he spent to cook this army. But if you actually looked at the beginning of this raid, there was only 5,173 Dark Elixir available in this raid. But it's all spread out, and I'll show you exactly, or recap on where it's all located. If you're using this technique to practice war attacks, if you're getting ready for a war, then by all means. However, this is not a true way of farming Dark Elixir, which led me to wonder how many of you have mid-level heroes at Town Hall 10 and 11 and just straight frustrated because you cannot keep the Dark Elixir or level up your heroes for that matter. This army composition is strictly Elixir. You have one spell that's Dark Elixir. And it can also be flexed. You got the army composition here, 15 to 20 giants, 8 Wallbreakers, and you can see the rest. But if you're not confident with giants or you get frustrated with them, you can flex them up or down. Put some, the clan castles also flexed. You can use defensive troops or get more giants for your attack until you get more confident with it. So before I show you this composition in action, let's go ahead and freeze the map and locate the Dark Elixir storage, which is always centralized most of the time. And this is what we get solely stuck on when we see that 7,300 available. But we also need to remember that the Dark Elixir pumps and the Town Hall have percentages of Dark Elixir in them as well. So we need to make sure that we entail all of these items in our raid and try to collect as much of that Dark Elixir as possible when we're conducting this raid. So as I unfreeze this raid, I need you to understand that this composition is a 2-phased attack. This is a Super Queen leading into a Jai Arch, if you will. I always start out with, and this is actually me raiding on Big D's account. He was at the house this weekend, as I said earlier, and I wanted to see if I could do this with the Town Hall 10 because I am a Town Hall 11 and I have a Grand Warden, so I wanted to make sure that this can be done as a Town Hall 10 before. And I also want you to take note of his level of his queen. It's a level 22 queen, and it can be done. I'm using 5 healers. The 5 healers with the archer queen works fairly well. I just have to pay attention when I'm looking at these bases, where the air defenses are. I just happened to run across this one right here. It was really good output of loot. So, and it gets a little sloppy, but it's a 2-phase attack. I'm looking for as much percentage as I possibly can with that archer queen before I start the second phase of the attack. She's down in the southern portion of the base right now, and she's already cleared out 1,300 Dark Elixir by herself. And then I'm going to start bringing in the second phase of the attack up in the northwestern portion of the base. I spread my giants out wide so that way I don't dump them all in one place, because normally, you know, if they catch a spring trap, you're going to lose 5 right off the bat. So, or correction, 3. So you don't want to lose 3 giants right off the bat, or if there's multiple spring traps out there. So this raid's a little sloppy because it was my first time without a Grand Warden in a while. However, I used the jumps instead of earthquakes. That saves me Dark Elixir as well. The idea here is that this army composition costs about 300,000 elixir to cook, and it's about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, depending on your heroes. But it's not as much as the dragon raids. The dragon raids, depending on the spells that you use, can run up to about 400,000 elixir in use. And also, we are opening up the base to collect as much as we possibly can. So At the same time, you're getting better with understanding the Queen's AI, as well as collecting up as much Dark Elixir as you possibly can. So this next raid is actually Big D doing it by himself. He takes on this base. He sees that 7,300 Dark Elixir, and I don't blame him, even though it's a little bit of a challenging base, but it is queen walkable. But besides that, while you watch the replay, this strategy, you should not be worried about the loss of trophies. Trophies should not be really a big concern to you, even though Big D's up here farming in Champion 3. You can do this down in Gold 3 all the way up to Titan 3. It just depends on your level of experience and the level of your queen. If you have a level 20 queen and you don't feel confident with bases like this one right here being replayed, then drop down the crystal. And I was down there about a week ago and it works perfectly fine, and I was able to steal just as much Dark Elixir. Also, this strategy also ties in very well with the Dead Zone base, which I have a video for that one as well, and I'll link it down in the description. If you use the Dead Zone base in conjunction with this heavy, consistent rating for Dark Elixir, you shouldn't have too many losses, but you should have a lot of significant gains when it comes to Dark Elixir, and you should be able to put your heroes down in a couple days, depending on your experience level and how well you get used to it. Now I'm going to finish you up with this last raid right here, and we're going to talk about troop deployment. A little bit of techniques and things that I do, and not everybody plays the same. I understand that. I play on a tablet most of the time when I'm at home, but I play on my phone during the day when I'm at work. I deploy the queen, single thumb, and then hold the healers down right behind her, and that's pretty self-explanatory. Most of you can do that with your pointer finger or however you choose to do it. A lot of times when it comes to my giants, I like to start in the middle and then slide my fingers out horizontally in order to get a wide spread of giants, instead of like what Big D's doing here is clumping them up. When you clump them up like this, they tend to go find spring traps, or they all go to the same location instead of spreading out and giving a little bit of a meat shield for like your queen and your archers. I tend to do the same technique when it comes to my archers as well. I'll start in the center with 2 fingers, and then I'll slide them out away from each other depending on which direction I'm trying to go with them. And a lot of folks are scared to do this because you'll zoom in on your screen, or depending on the sensitivity of your screen. It really just takes practice, and it's just a technique that I use and it works for me. But you got to think about it when you deploy your troops. You need to let your queen get a certain amount of percentage prior to starting the second phase of your attack, and then you need to get a wide spread on your giants, and don't clump them all together. That way you don't lose them all due to traps or hitting certain defenses at one time. And the same thing applies when it comes to your archers. Spread them out so that way they get firepower on more locations than just 1 or 2 defenses or structures on the outside of the base. Hey guys, Joe here, and if you made it to this part of the video, thank you. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, and I appreciate and am humbled by every single like and comment that's dropped down below. Help me out by giving me some feedback and tell me where I can get better at this whole YouTube thing. And I only solely do this for the passion of the game and the family aspect. So, as always, you take care.